I think the easiest way to do this is just do a walk around with the video. So here we go. 1997 4Runner. Somebody got me in a parking lot last week, actually, for this little scratch here. I'm going to try to clean that up, see what happens. Anyway, I also want to focus here. Here's the wheels. These are standard Toyota wheels. By the way, these cars and this same color, this silver color, there's probably one at every stoplight here in Boulder. It's amazing. Here are the new Michelin tires. You can see how much tread these are. I've got about 5,000 miles on these tires. So they were done in April, just before we drove to Texas and back. That was 3,000 miles. So anyway, just keep going around here. Okay, here we go. Obviously this is not a new car, so we have little minor imperfections in it, things like this down here. But anyway, the trailer hitch is used mostly for bike rack, so that's really strong. We did pull a trailer once to take some furniture out to Chris's sister. So anyway, so I know that this trailer hitch is strong and rugged and everything. So anyway, okay. I've got a photograph too of where somebody hit me in the back. This is like 3 years ago in August. They hit me in the back, so we had to get an entire new back here. And that worked out really well, actually. But way better than I expected. Looks perfect now. Okay, keep going. As it says here, this is the limited model, and I'm not sure what limited meant back in those days. But one thing it meant was leather upholstery. So it's got tan leather, and you can see it's nice in here. This is the back seat. I'll show you the front seat in a second. I didn't open the back, the trunk area here. There we are. So it's got this husky liner in it, but you can see underneath it's got the carpet, and then this is the original floor, which is perfect condition. Alrighty, I'll shut this. Okay, keep going here. This is the front area. Dashboard. I know this fakey wood grain stuff, I think it's plastic, is also part of the limited thing. And we've got an updated Kenwood radio. It's got a CD player and everything. Speakers, here's the speakers. And that all works fine. The only thing that doesn't work is the clock actually works, but the display doesn't come on. So I may try to take that apart, and I'm sure it's just a connection, because in the beginning it worked sometimes and then didn't work. Then I ended up just kind of hitting it with my hand and it worked. So I know it's just a loose connection in there somehow. So anyway, there we are. All right. Well, here's the other faux pas, is this runner down here, the runner down here, where somebody hit me on the side one time. Then they had to pay me the $500, which was for what I had to pay for the insurance. And the problem is that with this particular car, nobody can find a replacement one of these things. the insurance company gave me $500 to replace it, but we haven't been able to find one. They make aftermarket ones that you could use that look a little bit different, but would work satisfactorily, but you have to buy a pair. And I just didn't want to do that, so I just left it. I just left it alone. It seems to be fine. I mean, you can stand on it and all those, that kind of thing, so it's not like it's weak or anything. But anyway, there we are. Of course, electric mirrors even for this age car. And then here we go back around to the front again. Everything looks good on the front. So you can, as you can see here, there are not many rock dings or anything. I don't have a clear bra on it, but it has a relatively new windshield, which is a big deal here in Colorado because we have so many rocks on the road. They don't use salt here. They put rocks on the road, and the rocks on the road ding up your windshield pretty badly and crack it. But I can't remember what the issue was the last time. I think it was just pitted enough that it was difficult when you were driving into the sun. So that's been resolved, and that's been fine. Wipers work, AC works, four-wheel drive. The way you activate the four-wheel drive on this one is you push the button for four-wheel drive, and it's got a low range, a high range, and neutral. I'm not sure why you would use neutral, but in any case, there we are. This seat, the driver's seat, has got some problems here at the edge. I've got a name of a person here in Boulder to take a look at that, so I'll go over and see what it would take to get that resolved. Anyway, otherwise, all the seating surfaces are perfect. Other than this one, other than the driver's. But I've seen some other 4Runners, and man, they are bad. So feel pretty lucky that it's as good as it is. The other thing this car has is it has a rear heater. So there's a little heater core underneath the passenger seat, and it just circulates air and blows air at your feet. That's basically all it does. But that works, and that's handy in some weather conditions. Anyway, there we have it. I've got other things to talk about that I can tell you about, but one of them is I've modified. Let me see if I can get the hood open here and show you that. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, it's pointing into the air now while I put the hood brakes up. Okay. I've modified the engine with so it can run on E85 gas. So here's the E85 converter kit thing. That I've never had a problem with that. So sometimes E85 is cheap, and so I put E85 in there. It burns a lot cleaner. The belts are all in good condition. There's a new engine at 60,000 miles ago. It was a new engine. So, and then every 100,000 you have to replace the belt that runs the cams. So it's got about 40,000 miles left to replace that. There is a very slight leak from the valve cover gaskets. It's a little bit of a hassle to replace the valve cover gaskets, but I could do it if I had to. It just takes a lot of parts. You have to take a lot of parts out of the way to get the valve cover gaskets off. But I've done it before, so I could probably do it again. Oh well. Okay, and the battery is just let's see, 2015 battery. So I found actually that the Toyota dealer has the cheapest price on a battery, so I just got a Toyota one, and never had a problem with the battery anyway. But Chris, when he was here one time, had a problem with the alternator, so I replaced the alternator. It's been like 2 years, I think, or so. It's not tremendously difficult, but it is awkward to get a few of the bolts back in the right place. But anyway, it does not use oil. Let's see what it is now. There we have it. and I haven't put oil in there since I changed it. There's Mobil 1 oil in there right now. 5W30, I believe it is. So anyway, the engine runs really well. I've not had any problems with that, except originally I bought this car as a car off lease, and so the person who had it did not take care of the engine at all. They didn't ever change the oil, so the oil was all crudded up in there, and so it finally, at 160,000 or so, it crapped out. So so I put a new engine in it. It cost $5,000. So anyway, I've got all the paperwork for that. And then, like I said, the Michelin tires, these are they're called Defender LTX mud and snow tires. I've used the same tire on all the cars for a whole bunch of years. And this is the second set of this exact tire I've had on this car. Never had a problem in the snow in four-wheel drive at all. So that's great. It was driving funny about a year and a half ago or so. I took it to my friend who replaced the engine, and he found that the links to the sway bar and back were out of whack, and so we put new links in there. So that was done. Otherwise, I think everything's in really good shape. Okay, I'll let that be it for right now. I'll stop and post this.